my god, it's not gonna be a random quirky intro, nothing like that. Hey guys, it's me, your good old buddy Reptilica's back. Sorry for not uploading that much lately, I was kinda sick. Papa Nurgle decided to bless me with something, but no, it wasn't that, don't worry, it was something else. Anyway, we've got a tournament game here between a Rubber Duck of War, I'm sure most of you know him, and for those who don't know, I'll drop a link down below, and Nekhbet on the Toon Kings. This was played on the Serpent and the Crow number 2, hosted by myself and Urbane Fantasy, and I'll be giving a link in the description down below if you want to join number 3. So, to the game. The Toon Kings battle plan: shoot the Lizardmen to death. The Lizardmen battle plan: brute force them, and also a cheeky little ambush squad over here. So as we can see on the opener, the red-crested skinks are way too exposed in the front line here, and they're just taking a ton of damage from the horse archers. It's not the best choice considering red-crested skinks are just capable of tearing through a Toon King front line. They're really one of the, let's just say, important units in this army, and this unit has just been practically decommissioned by the amount of damage it took from the arrows. And we see the chariots moving up, one of the good old Toon King's favorites. What are they gonna do? Are they gonna charge back? And they actually see that the cohort of Sotek popped their ability here, refused to die, so that would be a completely pointless charge right now. The chariots decide to pull back, the red-crested skinks want to engage here. They still manage to collide a bit, but they're not killing anything. They have a better target in sight. And somebody wants to go skink bowling? I think these guys want to go. Just look at that. Absolute carnage, absolute massacre. That skink unit didn't know what hit him. Well, they did know, but by that point it was too late. Let's go slow motion, let's go tactical view, and take a look at the battle map. So most of the red-crested skinks are getting shot to death by the bow horsemen and Ushapti. One chariot managed to get into Saurus Warriors. Not really going to be a good engagement for them. On this side, the skinks are just overloading. They're going to be capable of actually doing a lot of damage to the chariots if they don't pull back. Ushapti, meanwhile, just firing away, trying to snipe at 10 and 1, which is the actual lord for the Lizardmen, something you don't see often, but a pretty nice quirky build from Ducky. But we've actually got the ambush squad coming in from the back, Geltblum's Terror. Hey, I'm just gonna slow-mo again. This is my favorite unit in the game now, aesthetics-wise. I literally don't care if it's good or bad. This reminds me of like 1990s Jurassic Park toys, and yeah, I'm a fucking boomer. Deal with it. Anyway, the ambush squad is coming in. Pokopax raiders are actually... The cohort is gonna go through the spears, and it's actually gonna connect into the Ushapti, and it's going to destroy them. So much damage. We also see a Curse of Unrare being popped over the Toon King line. That's gonna massively debuff them. Let's go slow motion. Archon is popping Liber Mortis to reduce the damage dealt by the enemy, and Geltblum's Terror got stuck on a Scorpion. That's not exactly good. Not exactly good to lose so much damage. Meanwhile, let's look at the Lizardmen and Skeleton frontline. The Saurus Warriors are obviously destroying the Spearmen, especially because of the debuff. It's no contest. On the left flank, the Skink Blob kinda managed to survive the Chariots. The Chariots are still mainly healthy. I don't know how they're surviving it. Geltblum's Terror manages to get away though, but it's not really doing much. Archon chilling in the middle, and we finally see the outer part of the ambush come into play. The Chameleon Stalkers, absolute win condition unit, but their bombs are not really finding the correct targets here. And at the same time, we got a 150 skeleton summon from Archon's Toonblade, which is gonna try to blob them up a little bit. It doesn't really succeed that much. They still manage to get a little bit into the Toon Guard with Halberds and Ushapti, but we know that the Chameleon Stalkers are not gonna be taking this fight away. Meanwhile, the Saurus Warriors with shields, are they actually going to connect into the Horse Archers? Yeah, they don't get moved. They actually connect into the Skeleton Horse Archers, and as you can see on the HP bar, they are destroying them. Let's go slow motion and take a look at the battle plan. So Geltblum's Terror got routed off the field without doing much. Makes me very sad. It is what it is. The left flank of the Skinks is actually destroying the Skeletons now, and the Ushapti are cutting away from Saurus. They don't want to get intercepted, but we're going to see a regular bound Ushapti summon on them. Meanwhile, the Tomb Scorpions have actually been devastating the Chameleon Stalkers in regular. It's no issue for them at all. And the Pokepox cohort is practically on their last dying dinosaur breath here, so it's not looking good for the Tomb King. I mean, the Lizardmen, is it now? Definitely looking good for the Tomb Kings, though, outside of the War Undead part. The Stalkers not doing much damage here, but the Curse of Anrare is dropped at the same time. Archon drops a Soul Blight, so we're just in debuff city here, but Soul Blight isn't really gonna affect the Lizardman units here much. Anrare, though, Anrare is very nasty for the Tomb Kings. And we finally see a Spirit Leech going on 10 and 1, and that's not gonna be good for him. That's pretty much... Oh, beautiful Flock of Doom. Beautiful Crows, and a beautiful Chariot Charge coming right in now to demolish the Skinks again. If there's one thing we've learned about Warhammer Fantasy, is that being a Skink is better than being a Goblin, but it still fucking sucks. Meanwhile, the Tomb Scorpions have just been doing a fantastic job this game at demolishing the infantry. You usually use the Tomb Scorpions to also Goon Squad, but in this game they've just been killing skink o'clock, basically. Battle plan on the tactical view. It's pretty much it for the Lizardmen, honestly. Their center of skinks and a little bit Saurus is barely holding on. The left flank completely collapsed, the right flank, there's not really a thing such as a right flank now, is it? Like, technically this, I'm not even gonna count it. Geldboom Terror is coming back. By the time it comes back, though, it's not really gonna do much. We're just looking at the last stand of 10 and 1 on this Horned One before he joins Sotek in the Great Heavens above, or something poetic like that, I don't know. He's routing, and that is gonna signal the end of this game for the Lizardmen. Alright, before we move on to the end screen, let's just take a look at some plays of the game and what basically made the Tomb Kings carry away the day. Exposing the red-crested skinks so early to Horse Archer Fire was pretty bad, because they could have been a win condition, but sadly a lot of them lost so much HP before the battle even began. Using the cohort of Sotek's ability, where they just don't lose any models, was fantastic because it warded off a Chariot Charge. This unit was absolutely crucial in the battle, and this was very a smart move. Chariots were such a key unit in this battle. Despite mostly killing skinks and a little bit of Saurus, they were just so crucial at mowing down hordes of infantry, and they just did a ton of damage overall. Like, awesome. Ducky managed to land a few really nice Flocks of Doom, and the damage honestly didn't make a lot of difference. Pokepox Riders were such a key unit this game. They managed to go straight into the backline, took out Ushapti, and just caused so much havoc in the Tomb King backline. Definitely worth the money, definitely amazing use, definitely amazing unit. The Constructs did a great job in the Tomb King forces. The Ushapti were crucial for eliminating Geldblum's Terror before it could even cause any real damage, and they also did a pretty good amount of damage to 10-1 at the start of the battle. Meanwhile, the Scorpions were just absolute MVPs who killed a ton of skinks, kept a lot of infantry units busy, and even though they didn't get crazy value, they did what needed to be done. Honestly, that was a pretty fun game. Like, I liked both the builds, and I really like Ducky's ambush strat. If it was a better map for it, maybe a better angle, I could see that definitely working, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's go. Archon honestly got sick value. He got some pretty good Spirit Leeches off on the Cav, then on 10-1, as the community liked to meme him ages ago. Nice Soul Blights. Archon did quite fine. Skeletons are doing skeleton stuff. That's all we say. Skeletons doing skeleton stuff, although some of them actually managed to kill a lot more than they're worth. Tomb Guard Halberds almost getting their value. Nice kills on the chariots, and these guys definitely did a lot. This one not so much. This is the one that charged into Saurus. Makes sense. Now, Skeleton Horse Archers are a fantastic skirmish unit for 500. If you use them wisely, they can rack up a lot. These guys got pretty much their value back for the most part, so they were definitely important in killing the shock infantry. Tomb Scorpions didn't get much value, let's be honest here, but look how many skinks they held up. They basically held up 3 to 4 skink units, and they just demolished them. Definitely MVPs. Also, the Ushapti just did a ton of damage. Like, they basically almost insta-routed that Geltblum's Terror after it got unstuck, and they got some nice snipe damage off on the Lord. This one that got caught by the Saurus Cab, nothing. On to the Saurus. 10-1 basically just did some Flock of Doom damage. It was a respectable damage dealt, however the value sadly wasn't there. Skink Cohort, they got bowled, they got rolled over. Red Crested Skinks, pretty much the same. If they weren't playing bowling, they were playing get shot because we're such good targets. Chameleon Stalkers got a surprisingly nice amount of kills against basic skeletons, which is not surprising at all, because they totally shit in that matchup. I mean, on that matchup, they're just crazy, right? But the value wasn't there. Source Warriors, crazy kills, most of them got value. Cohort of Sotek, that was a fantastic anti-chariot play at the beginning, and that's what actually made them survive long enough to rack up a ton of kills and some value, but it wasn't enough. Pokepux Cohort, great usage of the unit, great sneak, great color scheme, great unit, nothing bad to say about it, a good one to Ducky. And sadly, Geltblum's Terror did practically nothing, but it carried the game in a different way. It looked hella cool, okay? And remember this, as long as your unit is dripping, it doesn't matter if you lose the battle. Okay, it matters if you lose the battle, what am I saying? Anyway, that's game 1. Stick around, we're gonna have game 2 from this best of 3 series, and how's that gonna turn out? Well, you'll find out. Until that time, think about Geltblum's Terror. It's awesome.